Please. Please do me right this week. Please. That's right, folks. That's what we're all saying to the football gods this week. Hello and welcome to the Week 13 preview extravaganza of Todd's 10. I am your host, Todd Kiper Berman Jr. It's great to be here. It's great to be previewing the F09/S10 Fantasy Football League Week 13. And oh boy, what a week we have on our hands, folks. Intrigue, intrigue, intrigue. That's right. It's so nice. I said it 3 times, not even twice. I one-upped it, went to 3. That's what we do. Week 13, 1-3, unlucky number. It's going to be an unlucky week for some teams. Now, looking at it here, we're looking at the preview here. Todd Kiper Berman Jr. is excited to get into it. Lots of teams in the playoff hunt still. This is a league that is up in the grabs. The league point leader, the most points for, is out of the playoffs right now. It's unbelievable. Can we have a repeat champion? Will we have a new champion this year? This week will be the one that determines it. So let's get right into the matchups, folks. That's what you came here for. That's what you want. That's what you want Todd to do. And Todd will deliver like the UPS man, like Amazon Prime, right on time. Moving into our first matchup here. That's right. We have Big Goth TDs versus Mixing Things Up. Now, Mixing Things Up is out of the playoffs, but looking to play a little bit of spoiler here for Tyler Koenig's team, Big Goth TDs. Tyler Koenig projected 96.8 this week to 113.3 for Chris Tolman. So Tyler Koenig not projected to do well this week. And let's look at why. Deshaun Watson going up against Indianapolis. What is a good Indianapolis defense? Trubisky now thriving for the Chicago Bears, taking on Detroit. Advantage Deshaun Watson there. Whew, got a little jacked up there. Sorry, abs are a little sore. Working real hard, talking a lot. Anyways, I'm going to advantage Watson here, although I like the matchup for Trubisky. He's bouncing back. Deshaun, a special talent. Looking at the running back position here, Alvin Kamara, Chris Carson for Tyler Koenig. Going against Austin Eckler and Latavius Murray. I'm going to give the advantage here definitely to Tyler Koenig. Kamara's been a stud all year, although he's been a little off. Doesn't do well against Atlanta. Not necessarily the best matchup for him, but I like the match for Carson if his ankle can hold up. This is an advantage for the Big Goth TDs. Look at the wide receiver position, though. This is where Tolman's team definitely has the advantage in such a disparity in the scoring. A lot of disparity, not a lot of disparity. Anyways, looking at here, T.Y. Hilton, Des Bryant, Robert Toney, Jerry Jeudy going for Tyler Koenig. Not the most inspiring wide receiver room going against Calvin Ridley, T. Higgins, Darren Waller, and Jamison Crowder. Great plays by Tolman. There's a team that put up almost 130 points last week. Advantage Tolman. This is why. That wide receiver tight end room and that flex position are thriving right now for mixing things up. He's going to mix up some big numbers here. Advantage to Chris Tolman. Looking at the defenses here, Indianapolis going up against Houston. Chiefs defense going up against Denver. I'm going to give the advantage to Tolman here. I don't think they're having a good not a lot of good vibes going on for the Broncos right now, and I think the Chiefs' defense will take advantage of that. Looking to bounce back after they got a little bit exploited by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the second half of last week's game. This week's game, I think they're going to have a nice day. Advantage Chiefs defense. Looking at the kickers here, Tyler Koenig doesn't have a kicker, so you've got to give the advantage to Tolman. And I'm going to give the matchup advantage to Chris Tolman. He's going to keep mixing things up. This is a guy who plays the ultimate spoiler. If you had fruit in your kitchen, he walks by, it's spoiled. You had vegetables sitting on the counter, he walks by, spoiled. He's going to spoil Tyler Koenig's season potentially right here, depending on how the other matchups go. Knock him out of the playoffs. Chris Tolman, big victory this week for him, as I am projecting. Moving on to our next matchup. This is a matchup with playoff implications and another spoiler. Camper's been camping. He's been out there in the Northwoods so long, but is he camping up with victory this week? Mother victory going against Kyle Eaglehoff, a team on the fringe of the playoffs, not putting up a lot of points this year, but somehow still finding his way to 7-5. And let's look at the projections. Matt Camp 119, 2. Kyle Eaglehoff's 114.1. Matt Ryan, quarterback position for the camp. Kirk Cousins going against Jacksonville for the Loch Ness. That's right, Kyle Eaglehoff's team. Advantage to Kirk there. Jacksonville's defense is a sieve, letting people through, letting wide receivers through, letting points through like it's nobody's business. They're tanking for Trevor. They're just praying for Justin. Kirk Cousins is going to take advantage of that. Looking at the running back room, though, this is where Camper has a bit of an advantage. Miles Sanders, Aaron Jones, great plays, great matchups from out the camp. David Montgomery, Wayne Gallman going for the Loch Ness. That's right. Montgomery, Gallman, good plays there for the Loch Ness, but I like the running back room better for the camp. Advantage, Matt LeCamp. Looking at the wide receivers here, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Cooks, Mike Gesicki, Cole Beasley, two Bills. That's right, $2 bill, Thomas Jefferson, Monticello, I think is what his old home used to be called. I'm not sure. It's located in Virginia, wrote the Declaration of Independence. We, the people of the United States of America, are looking at the wide receiver room here for Kyle Eaglehoff, Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, Kyle Rudolph, DJ Shark. That's right, we got two Vikings against two Bills. matchup favors the Vikings, but I'm going to give the favorite here to Mr. Matt LeCamp. I think Stephon Diggs is a big day. I think Brandon Cooks is a big day. I think Gesicki has a nice day. I think Beasley has an okay day. I'm not sure about the Shark play. I'm not sure about the Rudolph play for Kyle Eaglehoff. I'm going to give the advantage to Cam because of that. Going to be close, though. This is what the matchup is going to come down to, is that wide receiver, tight end, flex positions. Looking at defense here, Packers going against Philadelphia and Carson Wentz, the turnover machine for Matt LeCamp. Chargers defense going against New England. They run the ball a lot. Cam has been a little bit turnover prone lately. Chargers defense, though, has been causing a lot of turnovers. Thusly, new word, bringing it into the broadcast. That's right, Thusly. Don't know if it's a word, but it's being used today. Advantage Matt LeCamp. Looking at the kicker position, Steven Gostkowski going against Daniel Carson. Gostkowski good for a couple bombs a week. Advantage Matt LeCamp, and I'm going to give the matchup advantage to Matt LeCamp, although it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be tight. It's going to be just like you're squeaking in a victory here. Matt LeCamp plays the spoiler again, walks by the counter, vegetables, fruits, spoiled, meat, spoiled, smells bad. Take out the garbage. Matt LeCamp taking out the garbage this week with a victory. Campers got a camp. Kyle Eaglehoff's playoffs chances will be on the line. Now looking at it here, looking at our next matchup. Again, teams really battling for seeding. These are teams that are in the playoffs. This is a seeding matchup game, so we're not going to spend as much time on this, but it's a big seeding matchup game. Jordan Allen is fetching Edson Yeager, while Justin Bollinger, congrats Bollinger, new dad, Team America. Let's look at the matchup. Not looking good for Bollinger projections-wise. 116.9 for Jordan Allen, 91.5 for Team America. I think he does that because he doesn't like me picking him, so let's see what happens here. Carson Wentz going against Green Bay, Fitzpatrick going against Cincinnati. I like the beard, I like the magic, I like that Harvard education. Should get an MBA, should get a law degree. That's what this guy does. He's smart, he diagnoses, he boom, 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 boom. Sees an open player, he throws it. Devontae Parker in particular thriving with Ryan Fitzpatrick back under center. Advantage Justin Bollinger is now thriving with Fitzpatrick back under center. Looking at the running back position room, though, we got Mr. James Robinson and David Johnson going against Cordero Patterson and Sony Michel. I don't even really think I have to get into that one too much. Advantage fetching Edson Yeager. Looking at the wide receiver positions, Michael Thomas, Corey Davis, Ed Ingram, Deebo Samuel for fetching Edson Yeager. Going against Amari Cooper, Jarvis Landry, Hunter Henry, and Chase Claypool for Team America. I like the plays for Team America here. Cooper starting to thrive again with Andy Dalton under center. Landry could be the breakout player of the latter half of the season. That's right, I used ladder, that's fancy, and that's why I'm going to give the advantage here to Bollinger. I like the Henry plays, really connecting with Herbert much lately, or Justin Herbert. Herbert, French, Polynesian, croissants, that's good for dinner, put a little jam, a little butter, get yourself all mixed up there. Advantage there to Team America, although I like, this is a great plays though, but I like the Deebo play in particular for Jordan Allen. Looking at the defenses here, Raiders defense going against the New York Jets, love that play. Vikings defense going against Jacksonville, love that play, but I'm going to give the advantage to the Raiders defense. I think the Jets are just terrible. They stink, they poop. It's like when you go to the bathroom, you sit down, and that's what happens. Number 2 stinks, fills up the whole room. There's an aroma in the air. Advantage, the aroma of victory is going to go to Jordan Allen this week. I'm just going to get right to the pick. Jordan Allen is going to win big. He's going to win big this week. Probably going to get that first round bye. Justin Bollinger going to get a tough matchup against the 6th seed in the first round of the playoffs, Team America. Now looking at the matchups here, moving on to our next matchup again. Big matchup. Looking at our potential number 1 team, that's right. I'll have a number 1 seed on the line for Mike Boyd going against a team that is fighting for their playoffs lives. Down 3 straight losses. This was once a 6-2 squad. Or 6-3 squad, now a 6-6 squad on the fringe of the playoffs. Kyle DeGroot. Let's look at the matchup here. 127.9 for Mike Boyd, 115.5 for Kyle DeGroot. Russell Wilson going at the quarterback position for Mike Boyd going against the Giants. I like that matchup. My only fear is they get up too early, too quick. Doesn't throw the ball as much as you would expect, but I'm still going to give the advantage to Russell. Cam, real hit or miss this season. Going to be a miss this week against the Chargers. Look at the running backs here. Raheem Mostert, Booker, 4. Mike Boyd going against Nick Chubb and Myles Gaskin, who was in the lineup for DeGroot. Gaskin finally off the IR. Chubb finally off the IR. You got to be happy for DeGroot here. You know he's happy about it. Advantage here to Kyle DeGroot, the running back position. This is where he can really take advantage of the matchup, trying to take down the league leader. Looking at the wide receiver positions here, Devontae Adams, Tyler Lockett, Austin Hooper, Robert Woods for Mike Boyd. Wow, that's a stacked lineup there, especially in a 1-point PPR league. Now that's A.J. Brown, Michael Pittman, Travis Kelce, and Frank Gore. Frank Gore moved from the top running back spot down to the flex by Kyle DeGroot. Can't believe Frank Gore, 45 years old, still in the NFL, still playing for DeGroot's team. It's like he never left, but I'm going to give the advantage here to stay off the weed duck. Devontae Adams is going to be matched up against Slay, but guess what? Slay is not slaying anymore. Holiday season, Merry Little Christmas. Have a Merry Little Christmas. He'll be home for Christmas. Devontae Adams going to thrive in that Lambeau weather this weekend. Tyler Lockett going to have a big day too, as well as Robert Woods against Arizona. The real X factor here is Travis Kelce, and how he does against Denver. Usually thrives against AFC West opponents. That's the X factor in this matchup, folks, is Travis Kelce. If the group wants to make the playoffs, this is what he needs. He needs Travis Kelce to thrive. He needs to succeed. He's a boom, 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 score touchdowns, picks, drop, pass, throw, catch, touchdowns, ties the group. Long story short, he needs Travis Kelce to have a big day. Looking at defenses here. Ravens defense going against Dallas. Chicago against Detroit. I'm going to give the advantage here to the Ravens defense. I think the Chicago defense could struggle a little bit against Stafford, who's going to get that interim coach bump. Advantage there. Mr. Stay Off the Weed Down, Mr. Mike Boyd. Looking at the kickers here. Dan Bailey going against Jacksonville. Robbie, good as gold, going against Buffalo. I can't go against good as gold. He is good as gold. He's silver. He's platinum. That's what he is. He's Robbie, good as gold. Advantage Kyle the group, but I'm going to be advantage here to Mike Boyd. Love the Russell play. Love the Russell Lockett combination. Devontae Adams due for a big day. Mostert starting to thrive again for that San Francisco offense. Advantage Mike Boyd. Kyle the group's playoff line is on the line. Moving on to our next matchup, folks, before I lose my voice. Not the sexiest matchup of the week, but we give everybody a preview here, so let's get into it. Both teams out of playoff contention. 2020, the Bees Knees, I think, locked into last place, unfortunately, this year. Going up against, what if Godwin was one of us? A team, Jeff Up, usually a perennial playoff owner. This year, not so much. Some things went wrong. A lot of things went wrong. Let's go quickly in the matchup. Rivers versus Josh Allen. Advantage coach, Josh Allen. Damon Harris, Giovanni Bernard for Jeff Up. Edward Solaire, Benny Snell Jr. for Nick McCullough. That's I'm going to be advantage to McCullough here. I think he's got a really nice running back room this week. Looking at the wide receiver position, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Trey Burton, and Duke Johnson for Jeffrey Up. It's Sterling Shepard, Mr. Patrick, Hayden Hurst, and Sammy Watkins for Coach. And again, I'm going to advantage here to Coach. I like the Shepard play. Patrick starting to thrive, especially with Drew Lock back under center for the Denver Broncos. Hayden Hurst connecting well with Matt Ryan. Watkins due for a big day every once in a while, especially against Denver. Again, he thrives against AFC West opponents. My apologies, they're mixing the conference A beforehand. And that's just mathematics. Anyways, look at it here, folks. Cowboys going up defense, going against the Saints defense. Advantage Saints defense. Tyler Bass going against Cody Parkey. Coach is going to pull this one out. Projected at 106 to 93 points for Jeff Up. Up had a tough season. Coach had a tough season. Better luck next year, guys. But I think Coach is going to end this season, this regular season for what it is, on a high note. Congratulations, 2020, the Bees Knees, on that victory this week. That means we have 2 matchups left, and we're getting to some of the most important matchups. We save the best for last, folks. It's like that last Oreo in the container. It's the best. Hope you buy double stuff. Whoever buys single stuff Oreos is an absolute psychopath, crazy. Needs to be put in a mental institution. You're such a joker. Buy double stuff. Save yourself the time. And what we're talking about here is saving time for the playoffs. Who's going to have free time? Who's going to be stressed out over the next 3 weeks? We're going to determine it right here. The guys worth the squeeze. A team that was down and out. They were kicked in the dirt. People were kicking dirt on them. It was like the getting bullied out at recess. And guess what? He bounced back from the dirt and he hit puberty and he fucking shot off, and now he's the coolest kid in school. Congratulations, Mike Rowan, in the playoff contention going against Team Sex. Another team. Very similar scenario. Puberty, boom, sex, all that fun stuff. Now the coolest kid in school. We have the 2 coolest kids in school going against each other this week. That's right, folks. Just came up with it right now on the spot. That wasn't pre-planned. Rogers for Mike Rowan. 112.8 projection. Going against Kyler Murray for Team Sex. Eric Deutsch, 123.6 projection. I'm going to give the advantage to Rodgers. I think he's going to be dinking and dunking and throwing dimes all over the field. Not nickels, not quarters. That's right, dimes, folks. Deal for dimes. Rodgers is all about it this week against Philadelphia. Advantage here to Mike Rowan. Kyler Murray, dinged up. Not good for Team Sex. Looking at the running back position here, Melvin Gordon, Kenyon Drake for Mike Rowan, Derrick Henry, and Jonathan Taylor for Eric Deutsch. You got to ride that Henry train. The guy thrives from week 9 on in the regular season. He wears people down. He's an absolute monster. Yes, he is a real monster. Nickelodeon, favorite show, one of my favorite shows back in the 90s, Derrick Henry, advantage here, Team Sex. Looking at the wide receiver position, DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Jefferson, Ferksker, Juju Smith, I'm not sure his first name, I think it's Anthony Ferksker versus Juju Smith-Schuster going against Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin, TJ Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, the 2 tight end combination for Mr. Eric Deutsch. I'm going to give the advantage here to Eric Deutsch. I think Robinson's going to have a nice day against Detroit. He's clicking with Trubisky and McLaren, really connecting with Alex Smith. I actually think the Redskins are going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Not just cover, flat out beat. That's what I think is going to happen this week. Got a short week of the Steelers. Terry McLaren thriving with Alex Smith under center. Hawkinson doing well. Going to take advantage of that Chicago defense. Goddard thinks going to have a nice day. Despite really the advantage here for Mike Mullins is that flex position. Smith-Schuster will have a better day than Goddard, but how much of a better day? That's what this matchup is going to be coming down to. Again, the X factor is the flex position in this matchup, folks. That is the X factor. Dante Hall, X factor. Remember, he was returning kicks, doing all that fun stuff back in the day. That is the X factor of this matchup. Justin Tucker, can't bet against him, but I can't get against butt kicker. I'm going to give the advantage to Deutsch. And I'm going to give the win to Team Deutsch this week. Wow, what a story Team Sex has been this year. From out of nowhere to somewhere to relevancy to potentially the top of the league. This is a great team. Going to be a great win for him this week. Rodgers, though, and Juju Smith-Schuster could carry Marone to victory. He's sending up prayers, sending up the hopes, praying to the football gods. This is going to be one of the best matchups to watch this week, if not the matchup of the week. I'm not sure it is. It could be. But I'm going to move on to our final matchup, folks, and that's right. We have our highest scoring team in the league, out of the playoffs right now, versus a team that has won 4 in a row. They were down in the dumps. They were thrown out. They were Oscar the Grouch, and they were hiding in a trash can. Nobody thought anything of them. And now they're in playoff contention. That's right. King of Tyreek Hill is right back in it, going up against One Nation Under Todd, Part 2. Projections, 128.1 for Brett Kohler, going against King of Tyreek Hill, Trey Nelson. King 117.9. Let's get into a little bit of the science why. Patrick Mahomes going against Denver. Expect a big day for him. He is thriving. Your perennial MVP candidate. Going against Ben Roethlisberger in Washington with a stealthy D-line up there in Washington. I'm going to give the advantage to Mahomes. Looking at the running back position. Cook, Kareem Hunt for Brett Kohler. Antonio Gibson, Chase Edmonds for Mr. Trey Nelson. Gibson going against a tough Pittsburgh defense who's down Bud Dupree, so I think he's going to have a nice day. Chase Edmonds in a timeshare with Kenyon Drake. Also a timeshare with Kareem Hunt. Who has the better day? I think Dalvin is going to have a great day against Jacksonville. Advantage running back room to Brett Kohler. Looking at the rest of the matchup here, wide receiver DK Metcalf, Marvin Jones Jr., Noah Fant, Brandon Ayuk for Brett Kohler, Tyreek, Keenan, Ebron Parker for Trey Nelson. That is where Trey has the advantage here. Tyreek has just been on absolute fire, although the Mahomes X factor here. If Mahomes doesn't have a good day, Tyreek doesn't have a good day. That's not good news for either of these guys. Ebron doing really well recently for Pittsburgh. Devontae Parker happy to have Fitzpatrick back under center. Advantage here to the king of Tyreek Hill. Looking at defenses here, Steelers defense going against Washington. Lions defense going against Chicago. I think the Steelers defense has been one of the best in the league this year. You got to give advantage to Kohler. Looking at the kickers here, Lutz going up against Sanders. Sanders, the best kicker in fantasy this year. Going to be a high-scoring affair. Cincinnati, Miami's going to put up a lot of points this week. You got the advantage to Sanders. And whoever wins this game is going to make the playoffs. It's simple as that. Simple as that, folks. And I think it's going to be. I think Trey Nelson's going to do it. I think he's going to pull it off, folks. I think he's going to pull it off. And that's it, folks. That's my Week 13 extravaganza preview. I am your host, Todd Kiper Berman Jr. It has been a pleasure to be with you all year, all season, previewing fantasy football. What a dream job for me. I appreciate y'all your time. If you want me back in the playoffs, just let me know. Otherwise, have a great playoff season. It's been a great regular season. This has been Todd's 10. I am Todd Kiper Berman Jr. Good night, everybody.